Good afternoon, good afternoon, and welcome to the best of the 757 Community Talk Show. You know, I'm your host, the one and only. Let you see my face so you know I'm in the place. Captain85. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing? Hope that you're having a great week at work or at play, or if you're working from home like I do. I hope that you're enjoying it. You know, it's okay, but it has its ups and downs. But hey, you got to keep moving forward. Can't stop. You can't stop. You can't stop. So I want you to go ahead and hit that share button and invite some people over to the best of the 757 Community Talk Show on WVDM Radio, WVDM, and Vaughn Digital Media. No doubt about that. No doubt. We just want to invite you in. Come on in the room and invite some of your friends over to do a little conversation today, and to speak on some topics that we're working on, projects, of course, that we instill, that we try to bring people forward and let them know that, hey, it's a good thing. It's always a good thing to be a part of the community. And that's what, we're looking at, because with the election just a few weeks away, we got to get people to the polls, especially our young people. Our people that are 18 years old, they need to be registered to vote, because it's our duty to inform and to encourage and motivate people. It is their duty to also help protect their future, because they are the recipients of what we do today and what's going on today, that you know will change things in their lifetime. And that's what it's all about with me, being involved in the community for ever since I was a child. My mother used to always take us with her to vote. And of course, she says, someday you'll have the opportunity as well. And we did. And I've probably been voting over 40 years of my life, and been active in churches, community projects, and, working with the youth. Um, when I used to work along with Soul Ranger of WREP, when he came to my organizations and asked would I partner with him to do teen dances throughout the 757 and Franklin, and a whole lot of locations. But only thing I always heard from the people that's in charge is that only thing you're trying to do is make money. No, I just wanted to do something for the kids, to make sure that they were able to have a safe environment, because I had kids myself. And even though I did a lot of events, uh, I didn't have an opportunity to let them go to the events that I was working with, So when it comes to activities and letting people be aware that it's a lot of things that you have to do to be able to help the youth. When the city says no, when a locale says no, and I'm from Portsmouth, Virginia. That's where I'm born, and that's where I do a lot of activities. When I was first started off my DJ career, and as I began to get known and recognized, I'm not going to say popular, but people were always wanting to hire me to DJs at events. Even the city, you would hire me to play down at down at the seawall in Portsmouth, and they said we'll always keep your number on file, so when an activity come up, that we could be able to have someone that can entertain and make sure that people have a good time. And that's what I really strive to do in everything that I do. People always say, well, you do it for money. I don't know anybody that works for free. I mean, my ancestors worked for free. Our ancestors had to work for free because they was slaves, because that's what society or the white man said they were going to be, even in their own land. Even in their own land. It's written in scripture. It says, even in your own land, you will become a slave. You know, and people will say America, like America is not part of Africa, but it is. You know, this is Africa. That's why you don't, when you look at the word America, if you know how to break it down, you know that you're in Africa. You know, so a lot of things that happen, they rewrite the history. See, the thing is, the rule of thumb is the person that has the goal sets the rules. So if I take all the treasures that your ancestors had left you, then I make the rules. And basically that's what they do. You see with everything in the news, you see when our people do something, and I'll just touch on this for a brief moment. And people are all trying to figure out why P. Diddy got into trouble. Well, he got into trouble because he went across the liquor business. White people don't care about that foolishness. That's already out there. You're already drinking it. You ain't gonna stop because P. Diddy mad because he can't get a bigger share. Let's don't get it twisted, you know, because that was the case. Everybody be making money, but it don't work that way. What got P. Diddy in trouble when like I said a year ago, when he did the Billboard Awards, and he came out and said, I'm the love man. I love making love to music. You know, I cannot make love to this hip hop, all this gangster stuff, you know, so I'm changing the music. I'm going back to R&B because I like making love. And that's what got him in trouble. If you don't want to believe it, all you got to do is take out your pen and paper. You think the people that has the power don't know what P. Diddy was doing? You got to be kidding. You got to be kidding. It ain't no secret when somebody puts you in power. They know if you do something wrong, they're going to take you out. Well, let's say, for instance, the late, great king of pop, Michael Jackson, the late, great Prince, pop and rock and roll, movies. Whenever you start talking about that industry, you then put a nail in your coffin. So when he said he was going to change the industry, that's what got the ball rolling. Because music make more money than alcohol. The part you don't understand. Music make more money than alcohol. You can make every time you turn around, there's a new brand. So you flipping and swapping from different brands. But with music, music is internal. If it's not, why do you think they don't give them to own their masters? Why you think they fight so hard to get the masters? They don't want to give them up. When Michael Jackson bought the Beatles on half of Elvis Presley and a lot of other white artists, the music industry is more powerful than you think when it comes to Black music. These people make billions, trillions in dollars. Why? Because they still own the masters. All you gotta do is look at your commercials. Look at the commercials when you watch television commercials. You see, what are they doing? They playing a lot of old music, 10, 20 years old, in the TV commercial. Those are millions of dollars that the record label is raking in. And of course, if the artist is still living, or if his family inherit the rights, and some of them don't even know that their artists, their sons and daughters and cousins, music is still making money. And because they ain't looked into it, That money just sits there until somebody else go in and claim it. And a lot of people do that too. So, but like I keep telling people, it's no rocket scientist stuff when it comes to us. We don't work together. We don't come together. Only time we come together is when, oh yeah, he deserved that. Everybody that does something wrong deserve to go to jail. Even the people that's paying them should be in jail because he ain't making money by himself. He ain't doing this by himself. You think you can go out here and do something by yourself? Like I told you, I used to work for $1 an hour. And my boss, one time I supposed to I came in at 6 o'clock on a Saturday to run a truck run. But he wanted me to come in. He said, I'll pay you extra if you can get back no later than 12 o'clock. And I hit about 20 stops. And I got back. My last stop was up in Suffolk and up at the airport off for what was that, 17 or 58, 715. And going up there to Suffolk to the airport, the little private airport up there to drop off some stuff. And that was my last stop coming back to Portsmouth on Tapwater Produce Company right there on Victory Boulevard. And when all the guys who worked in the warehouse, we was, gathering to get paid. So they was joking like, hey, I know I'm gonna get more than $1 an hour today since I came in on a Saturday. And one of the bosses said, no, you just getting what you normally get paid. Ain't nobody getting no more than $1 an hour. So I said, not thinking that he wasn't talking to me, I said, that ain't what you told me. You told me if I came in today that you were going to pay me more than $1 an hour. So he said, I don't care. I don't care what you think I said. I said, ain't nobody getting nothing but $1 an hour. So everybody go and get in line to get ready to get paid. And he called me back. And they used to call me Joe back then. And he said, Joe, let me tell you something. This is what the boss man told me. He said, don't let your mouth write a check your ass can't cash. I know what I told you, but why you gonna get in front of them and say it, to me? I know what I told you. Now he said, now, go back there and get your mom's a basket of fruit and some vegetables. I said, I ain't got no money to pay for that. He said, I didn't say you was paying for it. I said, go and get her a basket and let her know that Marty Russo, that was his name. Let her know that Marty Russo sent it to her. He was always nice. I mean, I know I shouldn't have said that. At the time, I wasn't thinking. I was tired. I've been up all night. And I hadn't had no sleep. I just came straight to work. I was over my girlfriend's house. We were playing cards and stuff, and gambling. And I wound up losing all my money. And I'm like, oh well, at least I worked today. I'll get a little bit more money back. So, just something for me to do. I wasn't a person that hang out. I'm always family orientated, doing things with people's families and my family. So, but nevertheless, you have to understand is the people that holds the power knows everything. And when you threaten them, see, England is one thing. The music industry is in the United States. And you just got on national TV saying that you was going to change the music format. And everybody that does that pay a price. Everybody. I know when hip hop first came out, and I did talent shows at Picasso's. And when they first started gangster rap started about 1993. That's when everybody started busting out gangster rap. And I had the talent show one Sunday, and the guy came in, man, they were killing it. He was killing it. He had the girl all down in front of his zipper. She's licking the tongue out, pulling on his zipper. And I'm like, what is this? Oh, then he's talking about, come on, suck this, suck that. And I'm like, yo. So I'm like, I let him finish. Then I'm like, and nobody would clap for him, and people were booing because my crowd was an older crowd. And he was like, yo, y'all still slaves. That's why y'all still slaves. Y'all don't know good music when you hear it. He said, this is the new trend. And I'm like, yeah, right. But I have to apologize. I never seen him after that. But he also wanted, pull out a knife and wasn't going to cut me. Because I said, we don't do that in here. And if it wasn't for my security that grabbed him, he probably would have cut me. Because I was up in the DJ booth and I was leaning down to talk to him. And as I try to explain to anybody, adults and teenagers, kids alike, it's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, but you're not entitled to get on a mic and amplify it because by law and federal law, even Donald Trump broke the law. Even though he didn't tell the people to riot, he incited the riot because he amplified it over a microphone. It's against the law to amplify anything over an electronic device and in a public place. Why? Because you can incite a riot to cause people to get hurt. And that's what he did on June 6th. Don't get it twisted. But what we do is we overlook some things because it's always a black and white issue. It's a black and white issue. It doesn't matter when a person is doing wrong and you agree with him, you just as wrong as he is. If you vote for these people, you're just as wrong as they is. I ain't got a racial hate in my body for nobody. Black, white, Filipino, Puerto Rican, Latins, all the nationalities. I've been engaged with a lot of from Africans, friends, India, Jamaicans, Koreans, Chinese, Jews, been in their houses, been in their businesses, and never once has any of these people called me out of my name. They always willing to help me, always willing to invest in what I consider as a DJ, my style of DJing, my style of management. And most of the time when I take any type of opportunity, it's not just for me. It's for my community. It's for my people. Not my people as I own someone, but for the African-American culture to move it forward. The problem we have with gun violence and all this stuff is Black people don't have nowhere to go because they started isolating us, shutting down all the clubs. Now, back in the 70s up until about 2003 or 2005, there was so many clubs that you had a choice you could go club hopping in the Black community. You can go to 2-3 different clubs in one night. Now you can barely go to one. Then they changed the laws. Can't have no dancing. What? And most people don't know how to challenge it. Because if you have an ABC license, you can use a certain percentage of your floor for dancing. That's in the rule book. Now, if they didn't go to the state, up there to the house up in Richmond, you go up to Richmond, and they had it changed there. But you're supposed to be able to have a certain amount of dancing because you serve alcohol and food. Because there's no such thing as a nightclub in Virginia unless they change that rule. Everything is a restaurant because you have to serve liquor. If you're serving liquor, you have to have a ratio of a percentage of food, which they tax the food and they tax the alcohol. And the tax on the food might be a little higher. So when people don't study, don't get the rules and regulations, then they don't stay open. And I used to lobby when I had to go to court and tell the people, and like, if I said something about music, I said, it's the music. Oh, they ain't want to hear that. Oh, no, they ain't talking about that. Oh, taboo. I said, well, the music is what it calls people to be violent. Whoa, we ain't, oh, they go like, whoa, let's go to another subject. We not even talking about the music. We're talking about the dancing. But they dancing to the music. We're not talking about that, Mr. Vaughn. Mr. Vaughn changed the subject now. So I'm going to hold you in contempt. I've been lobbying and fighting for a long time for the right things for our community. Just like now, my fight is for the young people. Gun violence and bullying that causes people to commit suicide. All these things that we factor in, but we won't see what the cause is. The cause is everything is on the internet. Everything is driven by internet. Don't matter who is it, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You got so many different companies. You know, people impersonating other people. People using technology to spy on people while they're in their bedroom or undressing. If you don't put tape over the camera. But we leave this machine where I'm on now, your cell phone, to young people that are not aware. They don't know how deadly things are till their mental health, their consciousness, and the ability to deal with certain things because they won't tell their parents. They don't know how to talk to their parents. They don't know how to say, hey, this is affecting me, because the parents might be busy or the parents might be out of town. But the thing I'm trying to get you to see is that we have a responsibility to our young people to let them be aware that if something is bothering them, they need to bring it to their parents. They need to bring it to their parents and let them be aware, hey, this is bothering me. And I really need to, I don't need that to be bothering me anymore. But we have to reach them in a way that they understand that we care about them. That's what we have to do. And that's why I came up, of course, with my comic book, The Real Adventures of Captain85. Next month, I will be launching that. It will be on sale. And I'm hoping that I can get the support from the community as well as the best of the 757, all the people that's on my website. I hope that I can get your support for this brand, because it's important to reach our young people. It's important to let them know that we really, really love them. And it will go on sale November. I know people have been asking and requesting when can they get it. November the 1st, because it'll be you can get one for yourself as well. It's not just for young adults. It's for all adults, because it deals with the situations of gun violence, bullying. It deals with the social problems that we are facing. Also for organizations, the churches that would like to purchase the program. It's our program. I have people that's going to come in and for an hour and educate you on the books, the lessons, so we can get engaged with our young people and activities that we are going to be doing to let them have an opportunity, not just to color the book, but we'll be able to do contests where they can just ask some simple questions so we can get their feedback, because we want them to engage. It's a coloring comic book. Let them color the characters. And while they're coloring the characters, they can read the story. And when they're not coloring, they can read the story and then ask questions. We have to find a door to open so they can open up their mind, their heart, and ask for help. Young people don't ask for help. That's why we have so much violence, People are bullying them, and they ain't gonna say nothing because they scared. They don't know who to trust. I tell the teacher she gonna go sit down. I don't want to listen. I'm running a class. But it's the kid next right beside me that's picking at me, calling me names. And you say, well, how do you know? You're not in the class. But I was the one, when I was going to school, they would do it to me. I don't forget anything. You don't know what it feels like when nobody's listening. I'm sitting in class, in one of my classes in middle school, and the teacher said, Miss Henderson, what are you doing? Stop daydreaming and get your work done. And she said, did you hear me? And she's yelling, it's about 20-some people in the class. I'm like, I done did my work. Well, do the next page. I said, I did that page. She said, you're getting smart. You're talking about, do you want to go to the office? I said, no, ma'am. You told me to do the page. I already did it. She said, well, I'll do the next one. Ma'am, I already did that one too. Oh, you getting real smart. I'll tell you what, bring it up to my desk and let me look at it. And you better not have anything wrong. So when she did it, then she told me to go sit down. And then before class was over, she called me back up. Said, let me ask you something. Say, what grade level were you on before you came to my class? I mean, because that was my first year in middle school. I was in elementary. And I said, what do you mean, what grade? This is a special education class. There's no grade. She said, you're right. I apologize. Well, how did you know how to, get all that work done? I said, because I did it before. Said, what? She said, what do you mean you did it before? I said, at the middle elementary school, my teacher, whose name was Miss Darden, she let me go to regular classes. She what? I said, she would let me go to regular classes with regular kids, but I couldn't tell nobody. She said, okay. So she said, go sit down. I apologize for yelling at you. So the next day she called me up. She said, Henderson, I went to the office and I pulled your record. There is no record. You have nothing in your folder that said you went to a regular class. I said she told me that if she would lose her job. So she couldn't record it. I just couldn't tell nobody. She asked me, would you like to do it over here at Harry Hunt? I said, yes, ma'am, if I can. She said, well, I asked some of my teachers and see would they allow you to come in their class. And that's what she did. And she was white. And the teachers, the classes that I went in at Harry Hunt was white. But the two Black teachers that helped me to get the knowledge that I needed to move forward were Black. Never once did the white teachers say they were going to lose their job. But the Black teachers, they would have lost their job. My mother went out to, I was at Ritter Weaver and George Peabody on South Street in Portsmouth. They tore it down now. And my teacher, I had told my mother the teacher wanted to see her. She came out. She said, Miss Vaughn, I'm glad to meet you. I love your son. He's real smart. He's intelligent. The reason why I called you, that you need to go down to the school board and get him tested so they can put him in a regular class. He don't need to be in my class. She said, but one thing, if you go down there, you cannot tell them that I told you to do that. If you tell them, I will get fired. So my mom said, okay, I understand. Thank you so much for looking out for my child. And when we were walking back to the house, she said, well, I'll go down there next week to the school. I said, no, you ain't got to go. She said, why? You don't want me to go? I said, no. Why are you going to go down there? She said, why you don't want me to go down there? I said, what are you going to go down there and do and tell them? She already said you can't mention her name. So I'll just stick it out. Because when I went from Harry Hunt to Woodrow Wilson, and I had a black teacher over there for homeroom, and she said the same thing. How did you get to know all this? How you get to do all this? And I told her, I changed classes. She said, yeah, you ain't gonna do that over here. You know, I'm not risking my teacher's license to do that. I'm not gonna do it. I'm sorry, but I'll work with you as much as I can. So from 16 to 18, that's the way it works. From elementary, when you reach 13 or 14, you move to the middle school. From middle school till you get 16, you go to high school. And from 16 to 18, you stay there and you graduate with an ungraded certificate saying you finished the ungraded class. So school closed in June. My birthday's in July. And my mom, I asked my mom, I said, do I have to go back? She said, no, if you don't want to, because I had got a summer job. She said, you're working, but if you want to, you can, try to do both. I said, no, that's all right. I'd rather work and help out around the house. Because my dad was the only one who was working, and my mother was a housewife. My dad wouldn't let my mother work. He wouldn't let her work. He didn't want her. My mother used to go and wash clothes and iron clothes for white people, scrub their floors. My dad said, no, you ain't doing that. You don't know what our mothers have to go through. And every child should know their mother goes through a lot of stuff. And as I continue to do my research on why we have so much problems in our community, I probably write a paper. I don't know if I could publish it because I'm not a professor. I don't have the skills to publish a paper, but I will probably jot it down and put it in a book. The problem that faces the black male and the black female in the United States, because it doesn't affect other races. Black and brown, it affects them. You have to understand the pain and suffering that we go through when a woman is pregnant and when she's carrying that child in her womb for 9 months. And then somewhere along the way, the man said, it ain't mine. And he's not bonding with the child. Our people suffer from stress of no spiritual and physical connection as a child is coming into this world. It's the same as slavery. We still live in the pain and suffering that our ancestors went through. But you heard it here first, because I know ain't nobody really studying that, because the man already know what he's doing. But for us, we don't know. The gun violence, the raging through our community. You can't pay a black man to go through a white community shooting in his house. You can't do it. You can pour gasoline on him and tell you, if you don't go in that white neighborhood and do what you do in our neighborhood, he'd rather burn up. He'd rather burn up. He shouldn't be in nobody's neighborhood burning up. I'm not doing propaganda. I'm not trying to incite a riot. We got another president that did that. We can get along just well if we learn to love one another. The word love is the most powerful weapon there is on the planet. Why is everybody in an uproar? Why is every state and country in an uproar all of a sudden? We got everybody fighting. Why? Everybody wants to be in America. Everybody wants to be like America. But the people that's in America that's neglecting the freedom that they have. You have a right to go to the polls. Other people are going to jail, getting assassinated for just wanting to vote. We have a right to vote. If you 18, you have a right to pick up a pen and express your feelings on who you want to be the next president of the United States. What part of that most other countries can't do? And even if they do that, what's happening? They're getting jailed, murdered, killed, and you have the right just to go out and vote. Go out and vote. Man, what a lesson that is. What is that? I don't know if this is the video I wanted to play.
So Kamala Harris. Ain't the fact she black, Howard University, Alpha Chapter AKA, it's enough to get my attention, but ain't enough to get my vote. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. You better check her record. And I did that, and I found out some things. She dope. Yo, Kamala Harris is almost exactly what you expect from a prosecutor with the credentials I just mentioned. First off, you ain't even qualified to talk about her unless you heard about Back on Track. That's like trying to discuss Jay-Z without hearing Reasonable Doubt. Back on Track was a restorative justice program for 18 to 24-year-old, first-time, non-violent, low-level drug offenders. Instead of jail or a charge on the record, folk got sent to boot camp where they got job readiness training, parental training, earned a GED, got connected with employers for careers, got their credit fixed. That's a pretty good deal. I'm finna go sell an ounce right now. Okay. But for real, once people graduate that program, she threw their charges out like it never happened. As DA of San Francisco, she made social services help parents of chronically and habitually truant kids. Twitter told y'all she was threatening them with jail. Cap.
The most important issue for me really is that we get these kids into school. The goal is not to prosecute parents, it's to get these children to go to school. We are not talking about hooky and playing hooky, and frankly, we all did, okay?
Nah, they were missing 40 to 80 days. That ain't hooky, that's hiatus. And nobody went to jail. I checked. Sister got them kids back in school and kept them out of incarceration and the grave. She also created reentry initiatives so people in jail could get out and not go back. Convicted over 1,200 domestic abusers. Prosecuted child molesters, rapists, and violent criminals. Transnational gangs. Got $20 billion back for Cali from the big banks after the foreclosure crisis. Created a civil rights division in the San Francisco DA's office. When she first got in, she threw the charges out for the activists and the protesters who got arrested. Shawty a hero. Senator, no disrespect. Not to mention incarceration rates for marijuana charges fell each year she was AG. So much for that theory about her believing in mass incarceration. With Kamala Harris, I'm excited. I'm excited about her plans for gun reform and the HBCU agenda. I'm excited about women's equal pay and the return of consent decrees. I'm excited about black home ownership and a black woman on the Supreme Court. I'm excited about black businesses booming and the D9 step show the day before her inauguration. Y'all know they having a step show. And I'm gonna be there too with an $8 fish plate and some mambo sauce. At the end of the day, she the strongest and most prepared and exactly what America need right now. And I look forward to seeing her stroll into the White House in 2021. That's an AKA joke. I hope she don't make her cabinet members probate though. Nah, seriously, 4 to 8 years of D9 jokes are gonna be hilarious. I still ain't been the same since somebody said she gonna put AKA tags on the back of Air Force One.
Hey, that will be great. Be fabulous. If you've been watching my Facebook page, you noticed that I had a picture. I thought I downloaded, but it seemed that it didn't. I had a picture of a young man that now used to work for me at Luxury Brown. His name is Carlos. And I'm going to show you 2 clips, and then I will speak upon it. This is Carlos when he worked at Luxury Brown. He was a security guard, and he wrote some great poetry. This is when he was a poet, and we didn't know it.
In the streets from dusk till dawn, sitting on the stoop, fitted low and hoodie on. My life expectancy was not to make it past 21. They told me in a cage or in a coffin, you choose which one. My mom's working 2 jobs, trying to feed 2 sons, waiting for that phone call, man, your oldest son is done. See, my obstacles made me ruthless. I used to live to pursue death. This life ain't right, so I move left. The devil pulling me close, God pulling me harder. So I changed my ways and I continue to fight not to follow the steps of my father. 25 to life, why bother? With all the shit that I done did, I was introduced to karma. But see, I'm something like a big deal, because now I'm 28 and my swag on a mill, and now I pray to make it past 40 because I want my son to know his daddy, and I don't want him to have the same resentment that I had for my old man. So here I stand. I'm my own man. Not a product of my environment, but a product of self-improvement.
That's what it's all about. That's Carlos when he was at Luxury Brown. Now I'm going to show you another video of Carlos at this day and time.
Yeah, what's up, beautiful people? It's a beautiful Thursday out here in Atlanta. We out here. No, I probably shouldn't be driving and videotaping myself at the same fucking time, but here we are. Just wanted to give a shout out to everybody who has helped, donated, shared, provided their time and effort and all of that for the Painted Man. We start shooting tomorrow, baby. Woo, shit. Yo, I'm so fucking excited for this film that we're doing. I wrote the story, and Caitlin Chestnut co-wrote it with me. She's also directing. She's also a character in the film. My brother Daryl is our director of photography, and he's also acting in the film. My brother Skylar, my sister Lauren, and we got Riley. And we're about to create some fucking magic this weekend. And yeah, I'm super fucking excited, and I can't wait to give y'all something to see and something that hopefully moves you, inspires you, all of that, you know what I'm saying? So again, shout out to everybody who's supported in one way or another. I'm incredibly grateful, and continue to support. I will post the link up here somewhere. Yeah, peace and love.
Yes, that was Carlos, and he just been working on his movie, and he just started the weekend, and hopefully that when it comes out that we could support this endeavor. Like I said before, I work with people to in an area that we have to understand is working with people, seeing the movement of people working and striving to get things done is what keeps me doing what I do. Because it's not about me, it's whether or not I can open up the doors. So this is Carlos and me and him taking a picture for Cox when he was a keynote speaker at an event. And he said some terrific things about me there. I don't have a copy of it, but the reason why I support the best of the 757, because somebody has to do it. We should not be making our people celebrities for riding through the neighborhood shooting at each other. We should not be promoting our young men and women doing mischievous things and harm to themselves spiritually, mentally, and physically. This young man right here done a lot of work to get where he is. He's been in several movies, but he's now at the position to write and now getting ready to produce and make a film. He didn't give up. He did not give up on those stances. I'm going to post the next time I come up. I'm going to post the movies that you can go to Netflix and rent and see. He's been in 3-4 movies. He was in the movie with Denzel when Denzel was a pilot. He was in the prison. He had the prison scene, and Denzel sit in the prison. When he went into the prison, he sit at the table with him. I mean, he's been in some fantastic movies with major play. Plus, he was just on TV last year with the ladies that was laundering money. That was him in that movie. I mean, in that TV show. I think it ran for 2 to 3 years. You never know what life will take you. But we have to open up the doors for our young people by telling them to put those guns down and pin up. Gun down and pin up. This is what they need. The power is not in the gun. The power is in the pen. Don't you know your life changes overnight just with that? With that reaction right there. The power of a pen changes your life forever. It doesn't matter who's in the White House, who's in the Senate, who's in the Congress, who's in the mayors, who's the city council. Once decisions are made, that pen changes everything about your life. You can talk bad all you want to. You can threaten all you want to. But once they put those cuffs, those handcuffs on you, those bracelets on you, as they call them, your whole life, your child life will change for the worse. Our job should be to get them to change the way they see things, because we need them as leaders, not followers, as leaders. Of course, there's got to be some leaders too, and some followers. The followers, if they're being led right, they become the leaders. Because when you're a soldier, you can be sacrificed. And the soldiers take care of the leader. I know, because I had an army of security. You better not walk up to me in the wrong kind of way. You couldn't do anything. My security will wrap you up quick. But like I told them, I don't need security. They're not attacking me. They're emotionally attacking the person that they can't get to. My main purpose is I don't want to see nobody get hurt when I'm in a club. Nobody. I don't care who it is. Because like I keep telling people, you're so bad, I tell you what. We're going to put both of y'all out in the back. Ain't nobody going to know you back there, and y'all go out there and fight each other. See, you have to remember one thing about a fight. Only one person wants to fight. Only one. It's two people arguing, of course. Or one is arguing and the other one's just sitting there being quiet from fear. But everybody does one thing. You ever seen anybody just in the middle of the street fighting each other? Nope. They only start fighting when the crowd comes. Why is that? Why you say they fight because the crowd comes? Because they hoping that somebody break it up. Somebody has to break that fight up. We have to educate our young people the rights and wrongs and what is important. Pin up, guns down. You want to carry a gun? Go to the police department. They hire them. You want to have a gun? Join the military. They definitely hire, and they give you money. They give you $10,000 or $20,000, $30,000 just to sign up for 4 years. They paying you to sign up. And you're going to walk around in the street? We have to educate our young people about knowledge and wisdom. It's a double-edged sword. You have people that used to be out there fighting, but people keep dying. And we can't find a way to reach that we have to do more than just doing a little. And it's up to all of us to find a way to save our future generation. As I tell people, I'm only one person, but if I can get another person and another person, then I'm more than one. I document these sessions so that nobody can ever say that nobody tried to do anything. Nobody didn't care. Because when you talk to young people, if you really talk to them, they'll tell you in a minute, y'all don't care about us. Y'all don't care. That's coming from the horse's mouth. I'm just repeating it because I strive to make them wrong, to let them know that somebody cares. And that's the reason why voting is important. You only have a few more days if you got people 18 and if they're registered to vote to give them the information on who's running. Don't get it twisted for celebrity status. Ain't no more apprentice. Your future is dependent on this election on every level, on every level. You used to hear them say, well, they're trying to take police, they're trying to defund the police department. No, that's Elon Musk and Donald Trump. See, Elon Musk then invented everything to defund the police department. This didn't just started with Elon Musk. This started years ago when they made Will Smith, iRobot. All you got to do is remember your movies that you watch. It's in your movies. They put it in the movies. Why? To get you comfortable in seeing it. To get you comfortable in seeing robots interacting with humans. There is no secret. That's what the Bible said. There is no secret about anything. The Bible said, watch as well as pray. If you watch and pray, you will understand what's going on. Defunding the police, what? They already said what a robot costs. You can buy a robot for $30,000. You paying police departments $90,000 or $100,000 a police officer a year? You'll be able to buy robots that's going to patrol the area, maybe for about $50,000 or $60,000 a robot. That's almost two to three police officers' salary that they're going to cut. You said that's never going to happen. I got video games that came out that you used to play on the computer. That's already in effect. They're just letting you get comfortable with it. Like everything else, you fall asleep. You sleep at the wheel. You think everything is just a video game. It's not. It's real life. It's a game until they get you comfortable enough to see it and believe it. I got video games that I used to play on the computer just before everything else came out. Radio Shack, Tambi. Like the Hoover, the Hoover satellite. I think it's the Hoover, whichever name it is. The Hover might be the Hover satellite that they've been using in space. They can tilt it on its side and read license plates in space in the middle of Times Square at rush hour and read a license plate all the way in space. And you think all this technology just jumped up. You have to be careful and tell your young people to put the guns down. Your nieces and your nephews and your next door neighbors. They got eyes in the sky. Everything is till they get to let us get position. And that's what they do. They position for you to get indoctrinated with everything they're doing without you being aware of it. Your cell phone's a tracking device. There ain't nothing new. You know, your computer is a tracking device. We live in good times and we live in bad times. So why are we killing each other? We're going to die someday anyway. You are a human being. You're not a machine. So stop acting like someone has to tell you right from wrong when it's in your DNA. You just have to learn to listen. Get our young people to listen, to know that we care about them and to know we appreciate them. Now, you have the bad and the good. Show them the good so they can learn to stop talking about the bad and acting bad. We all have a chance to make history if we go to the polls. We go to the polls and pick the person that you think is qualified enough to lead for the next 4 years. And whatever party you vote for, you have to remember, if the president that you vote for don't have the power in the Senate or the Congress to pass bills, they're going to blame it on the person that you voted for. They'll tell you that, hey, Biden didn't do nothing in the 4 years. Donald Trump was there for 4 years. He did nothing but caused more inflation, higher taxes. And you thinking he gave you something. He didn't. The economy was already doing good. Ask yourself this. If you married and you dating a woman and your wife says it's okay, why are you dating a third woman when she already said it's okay? You know, do what you do. I'm not into that or whatever. But you want all the women until something go wrong. And then when something go wrong, you want to say, blame somebody. But sometimes it's just better to be with one person or no person. Because everybody's going to do what they want to do. And I don't like to argue. It's just the facts of the way humans are. We create the illusion to be happy until we want something in replace. Our kids is our future. They didn't deserve what they're going through today. They didn't ask to be born. But since they're here, they asked to be loved. Let's try to show love for our future generation. To the next time we meet, to the next time we greet, this has been Captain 85 on the best of the 757 talk show.